Welcome back everyone to another dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9. Today we're going to be reacting to Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick Part 1. Hey everybody. Alright, so as you may have noticed, one of my most recent videos is Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick Live. I reacted to them doing that live. It was a shortened version of the actual song, and we focused mostly on his showmanship, on Ian Anderson's, I think that's his name. Ian Anderson? Is that his name? Let's see. I think this thing says what his name is. Ian Anderson. Yep. Okay. On his showmanship and the way he his onstage persona. And it was a Patreon request. Now we're continuing that request with the actual song Thick as a Brick. This part 1 is already longer than the live performance was, and this is just part 1. So yeah. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I've been loving Jethro Tull so far. Like, I really enjoy the entire, like, mythical or fantastical and also satirical vibe. I said it again. Feeling that the band has, you know, that exudes, that comes forth from the band. I don't know. It's very interesting. And yeah, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Daniel, also Deathstroke9, and you can, request songs, and we talk about what the songs mean. I try to figure out what the lyrics and the music mean to me. Now, last video, we paid the most attention to the way they were, putting on a stage show. But today, we're going to be listening closely to the music and trying to figure out what the heck the lyrics mean. Because I remember, let me think. I think I remember the very first line, and then I remember Thick as a Brick multiple times. So the very first line is like, really don't mind if you sit this one out, or something like that. So, yeah. I think this album is like Thick as a Brick, part 1 and 2 is the entire album. And it might even be true that the album wasn't even originally just, it wasn't 2 parts. It's been split into 2 parts because it's so long. Let me know, why was the song split into 2 parts? And, yeah. Link to part 1, link to this video will be down in the description. I'm excited for this, guys. This is going to be interesting. Alrighty then. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. 3, 2, 1. Let's figure out what the hell he's talking about.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think.
Lyrics are right here.
Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink.
So pretty.
So you ride yourselves over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
Love the flute so much.
The sandcastle virtues are all swept away.
It's funny how upbeat the song is and how interesting these lyrics
destruction, the moral malay. The elastic retreat rings the close of play. As the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. But your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your suntans rapidly feel, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
Ooh.
And the love that I feel is so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just had.
going. Turn that up.
And you shake your head. You said it's a shame. Spin me back down the years and the days of my youth. Draw the lace and black curtains and shut out the whole truth. Spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song.
The instrumentation on the song is beautiful. Wow. The drumming's crazy. Oh. Where are we going? Sounds like we're going to war.
The poet and the painter casting shadows on the water as the sun plays on the infantry returning from the sea. The doer and the thinker, no allowance for the other as the failing light illuminates the mercenaries' creed. A home fire burning, the kettle almost boiling, but the master of the house.
Gotta pause it. I just decided something. When I finish with this part 1, I'm gonna use the little thing in OBS to pause it. Then I'm gonna bring up part 2, so we're gonna do both parts today in this one video. So, yeah. Now, there's so much. What? I want this to go away. Whatever this is, stop seeing this ad, please. It's irrelevant. It's also inappropriate, and it's repetitive. It's irrelevant. That's what's wrong with it. Goodbye. Okay. Sorry about that. Really don't mind if you sit this one out. So, what I've heard so far, I'm going to go through some of the lyrics that we've gone through already. What I've heard about this song thus far is that this entire album, the Thick as a Brick album, which is like 40 minutes long, which is just one song, was someone said that either Aqualung or one of Jethro Tull's other albums, like critics were like, this is a concept album, or this is like a very progressive. They gave it a label that Jethro Tull's lead guy, probably the rest of them too, didn't really like. And so as kind of a joke, they made an actual concept album, a kind of tongue-in-cheek and satirical one. However, a lot of people, according to what I've read, a lot of people consider this to be one of the best concept albums of all time. So, yeah. Glad they decided to make this joke. I really like the acoustic, like the very... I really like the entire feeling of like a bard, kind of, or like I said in my last video, kind of the Pied Piper of Hamelin, kind of leading his army of children into a cave where he's going to leave them to die. So, really don't mind if you sit this one out. That's him saying, all right, well, this is kind of our joke, so don't mind if you sit this one out. And this is all my opinion on what the song means, all right? This is what I'm getting. My words but a whisper, but your deafness a shout. So my words are a whisper. It's you who are being loud with your ignorance. Your deafness is a shout. I may make you feel, okay? So when you listen, again, this kind of makes me think of him specifically, but I'm going to try to relate it to a bigger scheme of things. So anyone, really. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. That's what a lot of more intellectual, I guess, artists probably think to themselves. They're like, well, we can be real tear jerkers, but we can't force you to understand. Your sperm's in the gutter. Your love is in the sink. Can't make you think, can't make you understand that we're morally declining. Your sperm is literally in the gutter. Okay, so the holy, maybe not holy, but you know, the sanctity, the supposed innocence and purity, the fruit of a human being is literally being thrown away. Your sperm's in the gutter. That is a powerful line. Your love is in the sink. So you ride yourself over the fields. The fields. And you make all your animal deals. So you ride yourself over the fields. So you go around into each other's places and you make packs and stuff, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. And thick as a brick makes me think of you're an idiot. You're thick in the head. You're stupid. Your wise men don't know how it feels. Of course they don't, because they're supposed to be wise men. Your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. He's saying, you do, though, pretty much. And you're like, oh, the wise men don't understand. They need to talk down to me. They need to really simplify what they're saying so that I understand them. The sandcastle virtues. So virtues, or the good things, the supposedly good things, are all but sand. You're trying to build your castle, but so easily you fall to temptation or whatever, and it's swept away in the tidal destruction, the moral melee. So again, sperms in the gutter. Our morals are all thrown aside, and we are literally living in a state of very little accountability for immoral acts. The elastic retreat rings the close of play, as the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. So we find new ways to do stuff, the newfangled way, the elastic. Why is the retreat elastic? Makes you think of like a rubber band. It's drawing out. I don't know. Rings, the close of play. As the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. So a wave comes, brushes some things aside, shows you the new thing. Then another wave comes, and it keeps going, and it's kind of a cycle. But your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your suntan does rapidly peel. So he's saying, but it's kind of like, maybe not he's saying this is what I'm getting. So it's like your ignorance may be bliss, but it's not going to last long. He says your new shoes are already worn at the heels. They're wearing down. Your suntan is peeling. Your protection is falling away. And the longer you live on this earth, the more you're going to have your eyes open and you're going to realize this, that, and the other, you know? Like, I can't make you think, but sooner or later the world itself will. And there's nothing you can do about it. Your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick, to be a complete idiot. And the love that I feel is so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just had today. I am the bad dream that I just had today. That's a very interesting line. Quick story. A few nights ago, like a week ago, I had a dream, and I got up. In the dream, I thought I was awake. I sat up in bed, and I was like uncomfortable in bed, so I had to take the covers off and turn on a light. For some reason, the light wasn't on later in the dream, though. Whatever. And then I went to the door, and I opened my door in my bedroom, and my mom was standing there. And she screamed at me. She was scared. And I was scared of her because she looked like she wasn't herself. I don't know why. What kind of let me know this? She might have had like teeth, like more teeth than a thing should have, or super pale, or I don't know what, but for whatever reason it was very creepy. And then I realized the reason she was screaming was because I was also not myself. That's as much as I remember of the dream, but it kind of scared me and stuck with me. And so, I don't know why, but that line, I'm a bad dream that I just had today, kind of reminds me of that. So I am the bad dream. Or, I'm kind of the same thing that I fear. And you shake your head and say it's a shame. You're just kind of like, oh, what a shame. Don't worry about it. It's okay. When really it's not. So spin me back down the years to the days of my youth. Draw the lace and black curtains. Shut out the whole truth. That's what people do. That's the suntan. You're trying to shut out the truth. Cover yourself in ignorance. That's what people do. Lots of people do that. Okay, spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song. See there? A son is born, and we pronounce him fit to fight. There are blackheads on his shoulders. Blackheads is in like little, I don't know, pimples, I guess. So I guess he's trying to specifically say you're young, and like not fit to fight. And he pees himself in the night. We'll make a man of him, put him to trade, teach him to play Monopoly and to sing in the rain. So playing Monopoly would be to teach him about capitalism, and to sing in the rain would be to continue to act like everything's okay in the pouring rain when lightning's striking and everybody's dead, or whatever. That's what I've got so far, and the entire concept of the song so far seems to be very much just about attacking stupidity or chosen ignorance, very, very interesting. As always with Jethro Tull, I like it so far, in case you haven't noticed from all of my talking about it. But that's where we are thus far. We're going to keep going. Let me bring it back a little bit. this breakdown that we've been going through this entire time is very, very... I've been liking it. It got a lot darker. The music itself was very happy, and then it got down. Judges disqualify Little Milton in last-minute rumpus. Flute concert at Parrot Rooms. Thick as a brick. Jethro Tull. Huh. Is this the album cover that everyone was telling me about? That's like a little kid prodigy is supposedly wrote this song when really he didn't, and it's like a joke. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. 3, 2, 1. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick, Part 1. Or the full album, whatever you want to call it. Let's go.
No allowance for the other as the failing light illuminates the mercenaries' creed. A home fire burning, the kettle almost boiling, but the master of the house is far away. The forest he is standing, their warm breath clouding in the sharp and frosty morning of the day. And the poet lifts his pen while the soldier sheaths his sword. And the youngest of the family is moving with authority, a building castles by the sea. He dares to tide his eye to watch them all aside.
Listen to that guitar. And flute. And the bass, too. Wow.
The cattle quietly grazing at the grass down by the river, where the swelling mountain water moves onward to the sea. The builder of the castles renews the age-old purpose and contemplates the milking girl whose offer is his need. The young men of the household have all gone into service and are not to be expected for a year.
so cool. It's like a family fighting now. Although they might be metaphorical.
What do you do when the old man's gone? Do you wanna be here?
The drums.
And you hear yourself sing a song. Do you wanna free here?
Oh my.
No wonder how you get up steam. And the wild force and your way of being.
I gotta pause it. Interesting, like, how this has turned into... It's almost like it's not all one song, you know? And obviously it is, but it sounds like it's multiple songs kind of put together in a way. So... Seems like we've changed a little bit. It says a son is born, and I thought originally that meant, like, see, this is what people in general, we were like, they're fit to fight. You're weak. We're gonna make a man of you by teaching you capitalism or how to play Monopoly and how to sing in the rain and make the best of all situations and all that. But then it kind of makes it sound like a son is born as one person of this whole family thing that they start painting here. So the poet and the painter casting shadows on the water as the sun plays on the infantry returning from the sea. So some type of army is coming back. Poet and the painter are creating the pictures of the thing. So it's kind of setting the scene, saying there's a poet who writes. There is a poet who kind of brings to life the things that are happening and is almost a historian in a way. The doer and the thinker, no allowance for the other. As the failing light illuminates the mercenary's creed. The home fire's burning, the kettle almost boiling, but the master of the house is far away. So I don't think that means a literal home fire boiling, you know? I mean, a burning and kettle almost boiling. I think it means more along the lines of there's tension, there's things that need to be resolved, but the master of the house isn't there, you know, no one's addressing it. Bad things are happening. The horses are stamping, their warm breath clouding in the sharp and frosty morning of the day. The poet lifts his pen, while the soldier sheaths his sword. All right. Very interesting so far. So the poet starts writing, the soldiers are done. They put their swords away. The youngest of the family is moving with authority. The youngest, that would probably be the son. He starts taking over almost, building castles by the sea, similar to those sand castles we talked about earlier. He dares the tardy tide to wash them all aside. So the tide hasn't come in, and his sand castles of his beliefs are still standing, you know, or his, maybe not beliefs, but what did they call it before? It was sandcastles virtues. Okay. So, the cattle quietly grazing at the grass down by the river, where the swelling mountain water moves onward to the sea. The builder of the castles, that's the boy from before, the youngest of the family, renews his age-old purpose. renews his age-old purpose. That makes you think like it's something grand and important. And contemplates the milking girl whose offer is his need. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like something less than moral. So the age-old purpose. So sarcastic, it's hilarious. I love it. The young men of the household have all gone into service and are not to be expected for a year. The innocent young master, thoughts moving ever faster. He's making plans. He's kind of filling himself up with self-righteous indignation and thinking, all right, I have a right to take over everything. Has formed the plan to change the man he seems. He wants to change himself. The poet sheaths his pen. The soldier lifts his sword. So that kind of changes. That dynamic switches. And the oldest of the family is moving with authority. So now the oldest, the father, the oldest of the family is likely the father. He realizes that, oh no, my son's taking over back where I was. So he comes back across the sea and challenges the son, who puts him to run. So the son sends him away, or beats him, basically. And then he's like, what do you do when the old man's gone? So now what's your next step, pal? Do you want to be him? And your real self sings the song. Do you want to free him? There's now no one to help you. It says get up steam. Wouldn't it make more sense if it would be get upstream? Because, you gotta fight against the water, and the whirlpool might turn you away off beam. It's like a different story is being told, but again, the story has to do with hypocrisy and idiocy. And kind of ignorance in general. So that seems to be the theme. Oh, what a lovely theme. Alright, let's keep going. Let's go up. We're not done yet, guys. Not even close. We're about halfway done. Alright, with this part 1. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick, part 1. Let's keep going. 3, 2, 1. Let me bring it back. We just moved into this awesome organ. And drums are incredible on this too. We're continuing down this path, this story.
So come on, now you're criminals. I've got to put you straight. Just like I did with my old man 20 years too late.
Marching into town and making my will be known. so cool. Hey! So our acoustic guitar's back. Wow, this is much better than the live version of the song.
You curl your toes and run as you smile at everyone. You meet the stairs, you're unaware that your doings aren't done. And you laugh most ruthlessly as you tell us what not to be. But how are we supposed to see where we should run? Da, 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 da,
Oh, it's so... Son has become what he didn't want to be. Again, hypocrisy.
I see you shuffle in the courtroom with your rings upon your fingers and your downy little sideys and your silver buckle shoes. Laying at the hard case, you follow the example of the comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules.
Gonna pause it. Bring it back quite a bit, and I'm not gonna pause it again until the end. Let's take a look at what we've got now. This is going in large chunks, guys. Thank you for recommending this song, by the way. I'd never heard this before. Like, even with us watching the live version, still had never heard it before. This is so cool. Alright, I've come down from the upper class to mend your rotten ways. My father was a man of power whom everyone obeyed. So come on, all you criminals, I've got to put you straight, just like I did with my old man 20 years too late. So, he's angry. The son is like, wow, that was easy. Now I'm just mad that I didn't do that earlier. So, I'm coming down to mend everyone else. Your bread and water's going cold. Your hair is short and neat. I'll judge you all and make damn sure that no one judges me. Oh boy, it's a study in hypocrisy. It's all about hypocrisy. This is so cool, though. It's a very interesting way of doing that. I want to learn this song, or at least the main. Do 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 do. You know that? I don't know. I want to try and learn it on the guitar. All right. You curl. So now it's outside. So this whole part was from his perspective, the boy. Now we're outside the boy's perspective and kind of calling him out. You curl your toes in fun as you smile at everyone. You meet the stares. You're unaware that your doings aren't done, and you laugh most ruthlessly as you tell us what not to be. But how are we supposed to see where we should run? I see you shuffle in the courtroom with your rings upon your fingers and your downy little sideys and your silver buckle shoes, so he's all dressed up and he thinks he's very proper. Playing at the hard case. So you're trying to be this judge and king, but really you're like, I don't know. You follow the example of the comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules. All right. So we've continued down the storyline of the boy. So he took control from his father. All right, let's keep going. 3, 2, 1. Jethro Tull, thick as a brick.
I see you shuffle in the courtroom with your rings upon your fingers sneakers and your downy little sideys and your silver butter shoes. Laying at the hard case, you follow the example of the comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules.
The bass is so cool.
Of heroes, won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books, your super crooks, and show us all the way? Well, make your will and testament, won't you join your local government? We'll have Superman for president, let Robin save the day. You put your bet on number one and it comes up every time. Fall back down and they put you first in line. So you finally ask yourself just how big you are. And you take your place in the wiser world of bigger motor cars. Now you
Other people are allowing you to do it. The kids have all backed down and put you first in line. Because you always try to be number one. You bet on it.
So where the hell was Biggles when you needed him last Saturday? And where are all the sportsmen who always pull you through? They're all resting down the Cornwall, writing up the memoirs, not a paperback edition of the Boy Scout manual.
The flute playing is so phenomenal, I almost can't even put it to words how cool it is. Is that it? Oh, we moved into something new. Turn that up as loud as it'll go. I still hear the acoustic guitar in the background. Alright, it's moving into part 2. Ooh. It's going over there, it's over there. The heck? Something's gonna happen. It's probably not good. Alright, alright, so part 2 is going to come on. I almost don't even need to change anything. Weird. But I want to talk about the lyrics, part 1 first. So, yeah, hopefully that, alright, so before we start, let me make sure that we're on the same page when I say it's very hypocritical, right? That's what the song seems to be about, is hypocrisy. And so, when I say that, let me ask you, let's go back to part 1, please. Thank you. Let me just turn off window capture for a minute. Alright, so when it comes to hypocrisy, right? Hypocrisy is when you do something and you, like, tell someone else they can't do it. When you don't do what you say. It's that do as I say, not as I do mindset. That's hypocrisy. All right? And that seems to be evident in everything in this just complete idiocy and the cycle of thick-headedness. So, let's all right, I can put this back on now. So let's take a look at these lyrics near the end that we haven't gone over yet. Then we're going to move into part 2. So come on, all ye childhood heroes, won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books? Use your super crooks and show us all the way. Well, make your will and testament. Won't you join your local government? We'll have Superman for president and let Robin save the day. So he's saying that the comic book heroes are not real, that they're all just stories, you know? And he actually calls them crooks because they're hypocritical too. They were written by people who have no idea what the concept of an actually, like, truly good person, even though everyone thinks they're a good person. It's a very deep song with a lot of symbolism that I probably don't even get. So you put your bet on number 1 and it comes up every time. You put everything you have into trying to be number 1. Comes up. You win. The other kids have all backed down. They all let you be first in line. They put you first in line. So you finally, after relishing in that for long enough to be like, all right, now I'm bored. I want a bigger challenge. You ask yourself just how big you are. And you take your place in a wiser world of bigger motor cars. And you wonder who to call on. So, where the hell was Biggles when you needed him last Saturday? And where were all the sportsmen who always pulled you through? They're all resting down in Cornwall writing up their memoirs for a paperback edition of the Boy Scout Manual. So they're just not there. They've got better things to do than be there for you. And that's what I'm getting without knowing who's Biggles, you know? Where's Cornwall? You know, like I don't know enough about those what that even means, or Jethro Tull and what they stand for and stuff, to even like make an assumption as to what exactly that might mean outside of my own context I'm putting on it. So far I'm really liking this song, and we're going to move on to part 2. Let me know what you think. Let me know what, you know, your thoughts so far are, and yeah, be back in 2 seconds. You still there? Great. This is still Deathstroke 9, and it's still Dicondissectional. Today we're going to be looking at part 2 of Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. All right. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna keep moving on. Now part 2 is also long, so just be warned. It's almost just as long as that part was, so just, you know, bear with me. Sure, if you like the song, you're still here. And again, this is a very enigmatic song. When I'm finished looking at these 2 parts, I'm going to look up the meaning of the song on Google. So, without further ado, let's continue. I remember where we were. There was this weird white noise type thing that was going back and forth through my earpieces. Everything was getting crazy. And we've got lyrics. So, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's continue this study of hypocrisy and doomsday and idiocy. Such a hilarious concept for an album. Oh, yep, we still got that noise. Reminds me of like Pink Floyd or something. The weird noises and stuff. Production quality on this is awesome. This 40th anniversary edition. Oh. Oh. Who's the drummer on this? Wow. I'm continuing walking and dancing down the lane, even though the chaos is in the background with the drums. Just like, happy. Goodness. Ooh. The bass is so cool. Ooh, change the pace. Who is this talking? What the heck? We will be geared to the average rather than the exceptional. God is an overwhelming responsibility. We walked through the maternity ward and saw 218 babies wearing nylons. Cats are on the upgrade. Let's go right back to this then. Cats are on the upgrade. What the heck is happening? Let me know. Why does it say quote? Who is that talking? And he like sang certain parts of it.
In the clear white sands of morning wonder, I take my place with the Lord of the Hills, and the blue-eyed soldiers stand slightly discolored in neat little rows sporting canvas frills. The jock straps pinching, they slouch to attention whilst queuing for sarnies at the office canteen, singing how was your granny, and the good old Ernie copped up a tenner on a premium on wing.
Break my neck doing this. Okay then. Oh my god. Creepy. And happy again. Like there's this underlying darkness to the song, but it's covered by this veneer of civility and happiness. Gotta pause it. Sorry, I let it go too long already. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at this. So remember, before it was, a boy is born and we deem him fit to fight. Now it says, see there, a man is born. We pronounce him fit for peace. There's a load lifted from his shoulders with the discovery of his disease. We'll take the child from him, put it to the test, teach it to be a wise man, how to fool the rest. We will be geared toward the average rather than the exceptional. That's very interesting. That is correct. We are. Don't like the scores and stuff needed to pass certain to graduate and stuff. Don't they keep going down? Like exactly what the average is now like C and B is average, you know, or C is average, right? And the majority should be average. So if you're average, you're okay. You know, we're all geared toward the average rather than the exceptional. God is an overwhelming responsibility. Yeah, Humans shouldn't be trying to be gods, but, you know, they do, nonetheless. We walked through the maternity ward and saw 218 babies wearing nylons. Cats are on the upgrade. I have no idea what that means. Hip grave. Oh, Mac. That's what this lyric thing says, he says. I don't know if that's what he said. I don't even know if that part of the song had, like that part of the song sounded like someone else talking, but then certain lines were, like, sung. It was weird. Plus the music there, like, how it stopped, like, completely stopped, then went back to going, you know? So, something I'm noticing about the music, and I think I kind of touched on this 2 seconds ago, but it's, like, it's so happy. That's the ignorance. And then what keeps breaking through the being thick as a brick is the truth, just a little bit, and it gets dark for a second. Then it goes back. In the clear white circles of morning wonder, I take my place with the Lord of the Hills, and the blue-eyed soldiers stand slightly discolored in neat little rows sporting canvas frills. With their jock straps pinching, they slouch to attention, while queuing for sarnies at the office canteen, saying, "How's your granny?" And good old Ernie, he coughed up a tenner on a premium bond win. Okay, so it's like... So it's like an army general's watching over his soldiers as they just make small talk, and jock straps pinching, slouching to attention makes you think of, just kind of like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And then just making small talk. The legends worded in the ancient tribal hymn lie cradled in the seagull's call, and all the promises they made are ground beneath the sadist's fall. The poet and the wise man stand behind the gun and signal for the crack of dawn, light the sun. So are they literally like lighting the sun? Like what? What? I'm so confused now. God. All right. We're going to keep going. We need more context before I can really say. Again, the song sounds, I'm going to stand by my idea that the song is about hypocrisy and just general thick-headedness. But, yeah, I just don't know. I do not know. I like it, though. And musically, it's great. This is one of my favorite prog songs we've ever listened to, and it's like a freaking full album, but... I don't even know if YouTube will let me put this up. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations! We did it, guys! If you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel and like the video. And if you're not watching it on YouTube, well then, you're one of the lucky few who decided to support the channel and got to see the blocked videos and stuff on Patreon. So, yeah. Welcome there, too. And if you are watching on YouTube, check out the Patreon link in the description so you can request stuff and kind of shape how the channel was made, because this was a Patreon request. So, yeah, Jethro Tull was only introduced to me by the patrons in general. So, all good stuff. It's win, 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 win. Let's keep going. Thick as a Brick, Part 2, Jethro Tull, 40th Anniversary Edition, blah, 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 blah. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Happy. Very interesting staccato way of playing the flute.
The fading hero has returned to the night, to the night.
Was slowed down considerably. Tense. Filled with foreboding. This is such an awesome song. Gotta pause it again. Just keeps going. Crazy. It's like we're marching to war almost. Faster now. We're realizing the truth now. The circus that this is.
Let me tell you the tale of your life, of your love and the guilt of the knife, the tireless oppression, the wisdom instilled, the desire to care and be killed. Well, let me sing of the beautiful line in the street as the last bus goes by. The pavements are empty, the country's running while the full ghost is gone in the
We're all in the mad dance of insanity. Myself included, of course. gotta pause it. Alright, I'm gonna bring it back to right. Let's see, right over here. Okay. And alright, let's take a look at what we've got so far. Here's something I want to mention though. There is a short story by a writer that I really like called H.P. Lovecraft, where there's this crazy music that makes a bunch of people go insane, and they all kind of follow along with it. It's very strange and very interesting. So in this story by H.P. Lovecraft, there's this guy who finds out that there's this weird music that's played with chords that are like not of this world, and it almost makes someone kill himself, and all this crazy stuff happens, and it like shows you things from beyond. This is what I kind of imagine that to sound like. I didn't know it at the time, but now that's the case. So let's take a look at what we've got so far. So he set the stage, right? He told us all the different little pieces of the story and kind of little separate tales in a way. And now, so at the beginning, it was kind of him just setting his scene, saying, you know what, it's okay if you sit this out, but here's what I think, here's what I'm seeing in the world, all this hypocrisy and immorality. Then he starts kind of giving you some examples. So here's the army men and their little thing that they're doing. Here's the son who takes over his father's kingdom, then kills his father and his siblings, and then starts judging his people. He's like, what does he say? I'll judge you when you damn well can't judge me, or something like that. You know, like do as I say, not as I do type of thing. Now he's gone through all of these different kind of stereotypes or archetypes of different forms of hypocrisy, and is bringing it all together, saying, do you believe in the day? Do you believe in the day? The dawn creation of the kings has begun. And he's saying that in a very sarcastic way. Do you believe in the day? The fading hero has returned to the night, and fully pregnant with the day. Wise men endorse the poet's sight. Do you believe in the day? Do you? Let me tell you the tales of your life, of your love, and the cut of the knife, the tireless oppression. So he's saying that all of the wisdom instilled, the desire to kill or to be killed, is kind of this ingrained sin almost. It's bad, you know? It's a corruption of the mind and soul, this always trying to tear down everybody else and raise yourself as high as you can go without a care in the world about what the consequences of your actions have. So he says, let me sing of the losers who lie dead in the streets as the last bus goes by. The pavements are empty and the gutters run red. While the fool toasts his God in the sky. Okay, so as I've said many times before, I am a Christian. However, if something that I think is interesting about some Christians is this, they'll pray about stuff and not actually like work toward fixing whatever it is. You need to do both. So if he's saying people are dying in the streets and the people are inside just kind of putting up their walls and praying for those who mourn, but it's all just a joke to them, or it's not really affecting them in any way. It's a foreign thing to them. That shot kind of makes sense to me. So he says, "Come all ye young men who are building castles." So before he likened the sand castles that are going to get swept away by the ocean as it comes in. So now he's bringing everything together, and you notice the song is going faster and faster and faster as all the craziness is being brought to a head. And as I mentioned before, the music was extremely happy the whole time. It's you know, but then it goes into these breakdowns, which are a lot more underneath the veneer of civility and more into the heart of darkness that is permeating a lot of this earth's, things that are going on. So now the song went faster. The flute playing, or the Pied Piper type theme, is drawing everybody in this mindless dance of madness as everything's going and everything's hitting the fan here at the end. So let's finish this off. Thank you guys for recommending this song. This has been freaking crazy. 3, 2, 1. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. Let's go.
State the time of the year and join your voices in the hellish chorus, mark the precise nature of the affair.
Freaking crazy. This is March, almost.
Let me help you to pick up your dead, as the sins of the fathers are fed with the blood of the fools and the thoughts of the wise, and from the pen under your bed. Well, let me make you a present of song, as the wise man breaks wind and is gone, while the fool with the hourglass is cooking his goose and the nursery rhyme winds along.
And now he's saying judgment is drawing near. Let's go. It's going back to being kind of happy sounding.
Castles, kindly state the time of the year and join your voices in the hellish chorus, mark the precise nature of your fear. See the summer lightning cast its bolts upon you, and the hour of judgment draweth near. Would you be the fool stood in your suit of armor, of the wiser man who rushes clear?
Drummer's incredible from this group. Okay. That was a change.
So come on, you child of heroes, won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books, your super crops, and show us all the way. Well, make your will and testament, or would you join your local government? We'll have Superman for president, let Robin save the day.
Well, Superman for president, he says. Okay. In comes the guitar. Is that a violin? Some type of string instrument. I love it. It's kind of sad. Right back where we started.
So you ride yourselves over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, A study in hypocrisy and idiocy. What a wonderful concept for an album. I think that is the entire album that we just did. So, like I said before, as far as I know, they got mad at a critic's description of a different album called like Aqualung, and so then they made this one in mockery of what the critics said and like in mockery of concept albums in general, and yet people now consider this to be one of the best concept albums of all time, and it's only like one song on the whole album. So yeah, that was Thick as a Brick. Let's go over those last lyrical lines, see what happened at the end. So come all ye young men who are building castles, remember the castles getting washed away, kindly state the time of the year, and join your voices in the hellish chorus. Mark the precise nature of your fear. Let me help you pick up your dead as the sins of the fathers are fed with the blood of the fools and the thoughts of the wise, and from the pan under your bed. Let me make you a present of song. So this whole time they've been talking about the wise men and how people put them on like a pedestal, and this almost sounds like a shot at them too. As the wise man breaks wind, so as the wise man farts and is gone, while the fool with the hourglass is cooking his goose, and the nursery rhyme winds along. So he repeats himself. See, the summer lightning casts its bolts upon you, and the hour of judgment draws near. Would you be the fool who stands in his suit of armor, or the wiser man who rushes clear? So he's like, so the people who are going to stand up and fight against the inevitable are idiots, and the people who run away from their impending doom are a little bit smarter, but in the end, both of them are going to get judged for their transgressions or their immorality that he's been kind of talking about the entire song. And then he goes back to talking about childhood heroes. Won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books and save us? Show us all the way? Well, make your will and testament. Won't you join your local government and we can have Superman for president and let Robin save the day? And then that weird line that he repeats himself here again. I really don't get this very much, except for it sounds like the way you can't really depend on that many people. So he just says, where the hell was Biggles when you needed him last Saturday? Where were all the sportsmen who always pulled you through? They're all resting down in Cornwall, writing up their memoirs for a paperback edition of the Boy Scout Manual. Again, that line seems really random. But anyway, then it goes into that crazy bass line again, and then there's some violins, which kind of... The violin always evokes either dramatic, tense, or sad feelings in me every time I hear it, almost. So I guess it's sad is what this is. So it's like, well, kind of resigned to it, and that's just sad. And then it just goes back to the chorus, and you ride yourself over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, so all your petty agreements with each other, and all your backstabbing and all the stuff that's just a big ring of deceit and corruption. And your wise men don't know how it feels to have the ignorance is bliss that we talked about earlier, to be thick as a brick, which is just to be an idiot. So, that is my final interpretation of apparently this entire album by Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. Wow, my neck is sore. That's a really good song. I liked all the concepts in it. I want to hear it again. Maybe not now, but very soon, and kind of think about it more, because it's very interesting how all these concepts were kind of brought together at the end through these different little stories that he's telling in the background. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I apologize that this video is an hour and 30 minutes long, but hopefully you enjoy it nonetheless. And leave a comment, let me know what else you'd like me to react to, and what you think the song's about, because it had a lot of ambiguous wording, it had a lot of things that you could interpret multiple ways. In fact, let us do this. Let's see if Google has any idea. What is the meaning of Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick? And if you want to, support the channel and also be able to recommend stuff like the awesome patron who recommended this did, you can see a link in the description to a Patreon page. All right, Thick as a Brick meaning. Let's see if maybe songfacts.com or anywhere else has anything to say about this lovely little ditty. Oh boy. That was a journey, guys. That was a trip. Let's see. At a critical and commercial peak after Aqualung, Tull frontman Ian Anderson created an album that split one epic track over two sides. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say. It's the 5th studio album by the British rock band Jethro Tull. Definitely saw that his British accent came out more in this song than it did in the other song we listened to, Locomotive Breath. Okay. The album contains a continuous piece of music split over two sides of an LP record and is a parody of the concept album genre. The original packaging, designed like a newspaper, claims the album to be a musical adaptation of an epic poem by a fictional 8-year-old genius named Gerald Bostock, although the lyrics were actually written by the band's frontman Ian Anderson. The album was recorded in late in the 1700s. 1971, featuring music composed by Anderson and arranged with the contribution of all band members. The album was the first to include the drummer. Oh, wow. So that I've mentioned the drumming was awesome multiple times, and it's interesting. Anderson actually produced a follow-up to the album in 2012 focusing on the adult life of the fictitious Gerald Bostock. Let me see. I don't see anything about the meaning. It just talks about the reception. Obviously, the meaning is probably subjective, though, so it's probably why it doesn't have it. Yeah, I gave my interpretation of what I thought the song was about. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know what you think it's about. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you for spending some of your time with me. I'll see you guys all very soon. Deathstroke 9, out.